If you're new to investing, ETFs can feel confusing, especially when everyone online has a favorite one. So let's break down what iShares ETFs actually are and why people use different ones. No hype, just facts. If you're new to investing, you've probably heard the term ETF a lot, and one name that comes up often is iShares. So let's talk about what iShares ETFs are, how people commonly use them, and a few well-known examples, purely for education. iShares is a brand owned by BlackRock, one of the largest asset managers in the world. They offer ETFs that track different parts of the market, from US stocks to bonds to international markets. The goal behind most iShares ETFs is simplicity, low cost, broad exposure, and transparency. One of the most talked about iShares ETFs is IVV, which tracks the S&P 500. This represents about 500 large US companies across many industries. Funds like this are often referenced when people talk about overall US market performance, because they reflect how large American companies are doing as a group. Another area people research is smaller companies. IJR focuses on US small cap stocks, which tend to be more volatile but behave differently from large companies. Studying these helps explain how company size affects risk and return. There's also IJH, which tracks mid-cap companies. These businesses sit between small startups and massive corporations, and are often used to understand growth stages in the market. Some investors prefer to learn about income-focused strategies. ETFs like HDV track companies that pay higher dividends, which can help explain how income investing works. On the more defensive side, there are bond ETFs like AGG, which track a broad mix of US bonds. Bond funds are often used to study stability, interest rates, and how portfolios react during market downturns. If someone wants to understand markets beyond the US, there are also global ETFs. One example is IXUS, which tracks international stocks outside the United States. These types of funds are often researched by people who want to learn about diversification and how non-US markets behave differently over time. There are also world ETFs that include both US and international stocks in a single fund, such as ACWI, which tracks global markets as a whole. These are commonly referenced when discussing geographic diversification rather than focusing on one country. The main takeaway is that iShares ETFs are tools. Each one represents a different part of the market and reacts differently to economic conditions. Learning what they track, how they move, and what risks they carry is far more important than trying to chase performance. Understanding these building blocks helps make investing feel less confusing and more intentional, without needing to pick individual stocks.